Hey, good afternoon, folks. It's Will. I can't believe I'm doing this and I remembered what I'm doing. So I'll need some life in the comments to see if I'm actually live. All systems here say that I am live. So let me start from the beginning. My name is Will Sullivan. For those of you who do not know me, I am a kindness advocate, a leadership coach. And I specialize in arts and culture museums, helping big teams do what they do, which is welcoming people into their arenas, if you will. So I do this podcast, or I haven't done this podcast in a while. And I just figured there's been so many people that have been asking me questions. Where have you been? What are you doing? And I just love more for today's topic. So, first, ask those of you on the live stream, and we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So, thank you for joining me live. Those of you who are watching the replay, thank you as well. I appreciate the support, and feel free to drop in some comments if you can. So, today's topic is, where have you been? And this is really something to answer the question that's been asked of me. Hey, you've been doing the podcasts. You haven't been around lately. What's been going on? So I decided to twist this around or turn it a little bit. And it's not so much for me to just recite out to you everything I've been doing for the last 6 months since I've done one of these live streams, but it was really a question that got me thinking about all of us, people in general. Where have you been? What have you been doing? And for me, quickly, I'll let you know that I've been quite busy since October. Chasen, I don't know if Chasen forehand is here listening and watching. He was my last guest. And if you haven't seen it, catch the replay. Watch the conversation between me and my buddy Chasen. Life has happened in the last 6 months, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Keeping this short today, I'm going to keep this to about 15 minutes, and hopefully I'll be able to ask all of you to put some questions in the comments. But I've been in a reflective mood. March is the month where I circle the globe. No, not circle the globe. Circle the moon again, or circle the universe, because it's my birthday month. So every March, I tend to really rethink about the year ahead. Where have I been? Where am I going? And I think that's what I wanted to talk about today. Not just this podcast, but what I've been learning in this period of time in the last few years. So, going to get focused. Here we go. Okay. 3 things that help us focus. I had to put that on the screen so I could focus, because I'm so used to having a guest with me that could ask me questions or pull me around and keep me on track. Again, okay. Things that help us focus. And I'm really talking to myself. And that's one of the fun things about doing these live streams, is that I'm only looking at myself in the camera, and I have no idea if anybody's listening, making comments, and it's just wonderful. Sharing our stories really helps. So 3 things that help me focus, or can help us focus, at thinking about that it's March and my new cycle of life, right? The past. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Okay. Where have I been? No, the past. Everything prior to this live stream is water under the bridge. It's over, done with, and part of history, right? What do we take from it? We take our memories and we take some lessons. And I'm a big believer in that. And I'm not the only one that's a big believer in that, but okay, life happens to us. All sorts of things come our way. We think, why is life happening to us? I'm a believer that it's happening for us. So to get back to what I was talking about earlier, I haven't been doing these live streams in some time because life happened. And there was a lot of family stuff happening, medical stuff happening. Thank God all is well and taken care of. But instead of thinking about this period of time as a postponement or derailed, I think of this time as a redirection. I honestly believe everything that happens is happening to guide us in the direction we're meant to go in. So, those of you who do know me, I spend some time of the year in Rio de Janeiro, as well as living in New York. And my trip to Rio de Janeiro was postponed. And so it's a shorter trip this year because of life happening. So life is good now. And I'm super excited to be back here and use this kind of forum to connect with an audience, which I can't believe that I could even use that word, that there's an actual audience that tunes in to listen to me talk, and share with you my stories, because in storytelling, don't we see ourselves or uncover something in ourselves? So 3 things that help us focus. Focus, Will. The past. What did we learn from it? What's happened? No victim mentality here, no regrets. Lots of life happens to us. What are we learning? That's how I see it. So that's the answer to the question. Where have you been? I've been learning about life because life has been teaching me a bunch of stuff. So super excited about that. Now, another thing that helps us focus, is to talk about the future, right? The future is not a promise. I am a planning geek. I love to make plans. I love spreadsheets. I love to have everything in order, right? And I think this comes from my my early career, which would be in retailing, right? Running stores, being part of stores, merchandise, people, staff, customers, all of that. You make all of these great plans. I don't know, dot every I, cross every T, and none of your plans really work out. Sometimes they're better, sometimes they're worse. Who's called out sick? What vendor is no longer in existence? Blah, 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 blah. So I've learned early on, plan, 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 and build into that plan flexibility. Because once you make that plan, you know it's not going to necessarily be what you think it's going to be, right? So recap, the past is gone, take the lessons. The future is not a promise, but you got to plan for it, right? Not over plan for it, but plan for it. But keep in mind to be flexible. So that's kind of the space that I'm in right now. Okay. Now we're going to go to number 3, the third thing. I'm not the first person to say it. It's everybody knows this. The present is all we have. Today is all we have, right? I'm sitting here with you on this stream and having a conversation with you. And I'm seeing in the comments section, a few things have popped up. So I hope I have some questions and I get to say hey to some friends who may be tuning into the live. But today is all we have. So you live for today, right? You can be cliche and corny about all of that. But what I've come to learn, and what I love to share with people, is that take your lessons, make your plans, but how do you apply it to today? What's happened to me, and I wanted to talk about this for a little bit, and then I'll open it up to see if anybody does have any questions for me. Living in the moment and being present, I think about this journey, which started about 4 years ago. And there's this kind of way I think all of us look at life, or some of us look at life, before the pandemic and post lockdowns, right? So about 4 years ago, in the month of March, as I was preparing to go back to New York for my trip here in Rio, I had this overwhelming sense that something was going to happen, something was going to change, and boom, who knew? I am not here to tell you I'm a clairvoyant or that I could predict what was about to happen, but I just knew on some level that change was upon me. So that was 4 years ago. Rode that wave, helped organizations and helped New York get back up on its feet and reopen. 3 years ago, March again, 3 years ago, I just knew I needed to do something new. And there was this voice inside of me, do something new, do something new. You've got to change it up. You can't stay where you are. Don't be comfortable. And so I made a decision that I was going to end one thing, the long career that I had and start something new. Great. Again, no regrets. 2 years ago, I was in this huge experimental mode, right? The throwing things up against the wall to test everything. I said yes to everything. I was running around like an absolute crazy person because it was I had a year, right? I had a year of this magical experimentation where there were no rules. There was no one to tell me no. There was only me following the energy. So I think that's one of the lessons I've learned from a couple of years ago. Follow the energy. Follow the energy. I'd realized that just running after energy or running around with scissors isn't necessarily a good thing. So I don't recommend that. But you experiment, test, and fail as much as you need to, because that's where we learn. That's where they keep all the good stuff. So recap: past, future, present, all good. And as I think about this last few years, that's what I wanted to share, and hopefully and take some of your questions if you should have any. 1 year ago, and then I'm going to end this and I'll see if anyone has any questions. 1 year ago, March, birthday, whole big thing, I was in this very do less, be more mood. And I realized from all of my running around with scissors that I needed to kind of slow it down and be present. Focus on what's in front of me. Follow the energy, yes, but honestly and truly figure out how you could be in the moment. And this came out of my being in Brazil, because I'm immersed in another culture, another language, another completely different world, familiar to me, but living in it is very different than visiting it. So I figured, well, if I'm going to be here for a period of time, which I was last year, I should just be in it. I left this town, Rio de Janeiro, and I went back to New York with the intention of getting back to work. I swore I would never work in the arena that gave me so much joy and gave me who I am today. I swore I wasn't going to be back in the museum or arts and culture world. And a year ago, I decided that's exactly where I'm going to go. Put the intention out there, and I've been blessed to have worked with different organizations, continue to work with organizations, and to any of my friends at the Children's Museum of Manhattan, hey, I'll be back soon. I'm looking forward to helping everybody with their needs. So that's what I want to share with you. So I answered the you've been. I wanted to give you more of a philosophical or a different kind of approach. And I really want anyone who's listening to this or watching this to ask yourself that same question. Where have you been? What did you learn? What plans are you making for the future? And how are you going to be flexible about it? Be present. So now I've given my little speech here. I'm going to ask you all, if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comments, and I will do my very best to do double duty and look at the screen. We're almost at time. It's 2:13, but you'll forgive me if I have to go a little bit over. So we have here, there's Jason. Hello, Jason. Oh, thank you. Somebody else is following me on social media. So you've seen my pictures of family and friends and the incredible weather. I don't think warm weather is very incredible, but there are those who do. But thank you for your well wishes there. Oh, Lori, we go back a long ways. Hey, Lori, very good to see you. When I'm back in New York, we've got to go catch up for lunch. You gave me more advice and tips on how to start a business than I can even give you credit for. So thank you for that. I've been right here. You can continue to follow me this way. I see Jason has given us a couple of shout outs here. Thank you. Oh, Shri. Hello. The woman, if you're not following Shri, you must. because she's the one who gave me confidence to put a big light in front of my face and use the equipment I had, and really got me started on doing these live streams and being much more comfortable just talking to a camera. So thank you, my dear friend. I'm super, super excited that you've come here today to join me. And let's see if there's anybody else who's got any questions or comments. I don't see any, but I think to close this out, because we are at time at the 15-minute mark, I do see my good buddy, Jason, telling us to fail, learn, grow, and thrive. I think that I would add one thing: fail, learn, grow, thrive, repeat. And it's that cycle. And okay, I lied. One more comment I'll bring up here, and that's from Shri. You are too kind. Thank you for the shout out. And I honestly mean that. If you're not following Shri, you're missing out. And anybody who's made comments here along the way, I really, really appreciate your interacting. I will now let you know, for anybody who's listening or wants to tune in later, let me just tell you this. You can listen to this and previous episodes, which I think the previous episodes are probably way more interesting than me just speaking to you, with other guests. You can listen to them on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can also watch this replay on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So I leave you with that. I thank you for tuning in and listening, and send me some messages if you think I should be doing more of this, less of this. Remember, I'm going to follow the energy, take the lessons from the past, make a few plans, but I don't know where I'm going to wind up. Life is unpredictable that way, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Keeping it kind, Will here. I super appreciate all of you. I am an aspiring better human, and I hope you are too. Take care. Have a great day.